Coming up with witty comebacks on the spot.
Doing makeup.
Writing a long story, but I no longer have the idea I'll be able to just pump out a piece every couple months like clockwork at a couple thousand words a day. Committing suicide. Folding fitted sheets. The most common type of ghost is the one in a white sheet with waving arms. These are the spirits of people who died while trying to fold a fitted sheet. The real trick is to only own one sheet, so as soon as it comes out of the wash you immediately put it back on the bed and never need to even attempt folding it.
Marriage. I think many people believe that they will be romantically in love with the person they are marrying. In many ways you do, but most with long successful marriages will tell you it takes work to make a marriage last a lifetime. That level of commitment is hard to maintain. Everybody wants to talk about the happy times, the falling in love stuff, which is very important. But I kinda look at it a little different. Easy as pie. Pie is the most difficult thing I've ever done, made. Hell yeah. Keeping the dough cold while avoiding overworking it, and somehow perfectly distributing the butter throughout the mixture so that there aren't massive butter chunks, it's difficult. I still brag about the lattice apple pie I made senior year of high school. That was my crowning achievement.
Street names. I legit thought you meant street names like Lil T or Fingers. The small city, big town I live in loves to change the name of streets on every intersection. There's main streets only a few miles long that have 4+ different names. I have it figured out now, but when I first moved here it was incredibly confusing.
I use a wheelchair and people usually don't believe me when I say that getting around can be difficult, because many of them think that pushing a wheelchair is easy. They literally tell me this. And your arms gotta be ripped by now.
Pretty much anything that a professional does. They make it look easy cause it's their job. Throw a football 65 yards accurately? PSSSH simple if you're an elite athlete. Cut open a chest cavity to fix a few coronary arteries? It's just another day at the office for a surgeon. Frame up a structural wall within a 2,000 square feet house? Just a bunch of wood and nails is all you need. Make crowded teeth perfectly aligned. Surely it's just a matter of wearing trays 1 through 55, voila. It's all straight.
The water level from the NES Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game.
Maintaining friendships from high school, college after you graduate. People get so busy with work and starting their own families that friendships get put on the back burner. You stop talking to someone for a few months, then it suddenly hits you that you're no longer friends with the person. Reach back out though. Everyone understands, and I've rekindled and kept in touch intermittently with so many amazing people. Yes, we're not best friends who talk every day, but if shit went down I could give them a call and vice versa, and when we do get together it's a great time. Being a good dad, shit is tough. I have a 18-month-old daughter and my wife is expecting. I get up for work and 12 hours later I'm back at home, and almost as soon as I walk through the door, I'm on dad duty.
Those capture things on Google. I can honestly never read them and the website always thinks I'm a robot. Maybe you are a robot. I sweat when I have to select photos with street signs and one overlaps just barely into another square. I consistently fail them.
Playing an instrument. Have played most percussion instruments, trumpet, some baritone, and was first chair tuba, sousaphone for 4 years, and difficulty varies based on instrument and physical attributes. I was going to say the same thing. I played drums on a long-term hiatus, not sure I'll go back to playing, and people either seem to think that playing the drums is borderline impossible or that it's the same thing as clapping your hands and tapping your feet. Doing anything when you have depression.
Losing my virginity. That's me in the corner, that's me in the fleshlight. Lost mine at 26. Not for lack of trying. Creating a routine is the easy part, actually following through and maintaining that routine is the problem.
Diapering a baby. Feeding a baby. Getting a baby to sleep. Looks easy until you have 12 babies in your classroom that all need to be diapered, fed, and rocked to sleep in the next 15 minutes. Keeping them alive is a battle too. It's like they're actively trying self-destruct.
Getting 50 karma to post my orange kitties on cat's sad face. I have ya one, good luck. Handwriting things neatly. I just can't do it. Reading my textbook instead of Reddit.
Finding a career you'll want to go to every day that won't crush your soul. Remember when you were young and teachers told you that you could be whatever you wanted to be? Yeah, not so realistic when you want to pay bills and maybe have a little beer money too. I didn't go to college and struggle with the thought of not being able to have a lateral career move without a degree, but then I see my friends absolutely floundering with their student loan payments and think maybe I don't have it so bad after all. I went to college, grad school, got a PhD and work in a senior role at a highly coveted company.
Gardening. It isn't just water it and you're good, it's constant attention, care and maintenance. It's really a lot of work if you have a decent size garden, but well worth it once you're eating what you grew.
Science.
Finding one of those shitty underpaid under-respected jobs that people can't wait to leave.
Sleeping.
Looking presentable every day. Hanging out with friends during that I'm not at school but I'm still dependent on my family period where you have spare time but have no way of getting anywhere. Yeah, well just wait. You got a solid few years where that eases up and you hang out a lot. Then you have 4 or 5 years where you end up at a wedding every other month for a few years. Then you get a few years of strange first birthday parties that are a weird blend of the old drinking days mixed with the odd responsibilities of a handful of new parents that just makes the whole scene really weird. You'll get an invite to the second birthday, but you'll make up a crappy excuse for not going. Then you're on your own and have to make new bar friends, get married, or get caught up in a pyramid scheme. Changing a headlight for a newer Chevy. It involves the bumper and stuff. I miss twist and pull. Writing a post or comment on Reddit that gets recognition. Nah, it's like carpet bombing. Throw a lot out there, some of them hit.
Digging. Anytime it's shown in movies or TV it looks easy AF, but the second you have to grab a shovel and break dirt, bleh. Here just let me dig up this 6-foot-deep grave with a shovel. Agreed. One of my pet peeves in movies is where they dig a grave, especially in the woods, with a shovel.
Drawing something from memory. Like a bird or something. Draws squiggly lines far away in the horizon. Birds. Reminds of the bicycle challenge. Go draw a bicycle from memory right now, just take a pencil and paper or open paint at this very moment and draw with your mouse. Natural makeup. More work than regular makeup. TBH, this reminds me of a video I watched of a visual effects artist explaining his job. If no one notices your work on the footage, you've done your job well. It's only when you mess up do people notice.
Beekeeping. You see videos of these old dudes in their veils and beekeeping suits and it makes it seem so relaxing and easy. Turns out that bees aren't so good at finding enough food on their own and they can get sick really easy, and in the winter they can mold. Have you ever seen moldy bees? Sometimes they're not even dead. Have you ever seen moldy bees? Sometimes they're not even dead. Socializing with people. I have severe social anxiety, and even small interactions with strangers, and even some people I've known for a while are really hard for me. I don't hate people or dislike being around them, but I'm just awful at keeping conversations going or initiating them. Outgoing people make it look very easy, for me it is not. Talk about their interests. Example, oh, you are a teacher. What do you teach? What made you decide to become a teacher? What would you tell future teachers? What would you change about the profession?
Flying remote-controlled helicopters. It looks so effortless when watching seasoned flyers, but in reality it's like balancing a marble on an upturned bowl. I'll never forget the time I went out and bought a decently priced helicopter.
Dancing. I wouldn't say it looks easy, but when I see people do it, they're so good at it and it flows so well it looks easy. But damn, I just cannot get my body to do anything more than a bop and maybe some stupid arm moves. All smoke and mirrors, friends. As a dance teacher, I can tell you confidently that it feels absolutely silly until you just start to sell it.
Work. I'm a lawyer and had a client call saying she needs a help with a merger, but don't worry, it's super easy peasy lemon squeezy. I'm not a lawyer and that doesn't sound easy.
Letting go. Apparently figuring out what the opposite of easy peasy lemon squeezy would be. The correct answer is, a roughy toughy lemon puffy. Op is paraphrasing a line from In the Loop.
Rainbow Road on Mario Kart. I still don't think I've ever come first, ugh. I freaking love Rainbow Road. I'm the asshole who always picks that one. Try doing it on 200cc with a bunch of cheating little SHCPUs with way more turn than is possible in the game.
Being in your 20s. As a clueless kid I thought by now I'd have everything figured out and my life on track. I'm still clueless, but now I also have depression. In my 30s. Still clueless. Just turned 28 last month. I'm single and live at home. I can't stop thinking about when I was 23 and looked down upon people who were 28 and didn't have their shit together. Shit hurts, bro.
Coding. Just use Visual Studio, PyCharm or SumID. It makes figuring out syntax errors very easy.
Playing the triangle. A lot of my non-musician friends joke about how easy it is to play it. Then they actually hold the damn thing and look stupid. I can still remember my band director. Can confirm, played triangle a few times in school. I was a second-chair percussionist out of 40 others and I was chosen for triangle more than once. Programming. We need you to draw 7 red lines.
Actually doing things. In theory it's simple. Just do the thing. In reality I procrastinate until I hate myself. Self-discipline is the single hardest skill to master in this world that makes it so easy to just not. I find it helps immensely to wake up and do something immediately. I think that's the reasoning behind the military having people make their beds right away, is that you start the day with a task that you do correctly first thing, you're more likely to be productive the rest of the day.
Making lemonade. Sure, squeezing one lemon is easy peasy, but do you know how much juice that makes? Not a lot. Fill in the rest with sugar, it's the American way. I've tried to ration lemons with sugar. Always tasted too sour or too sweet and never even close to in between. Getting away with murder. Nationwide the catch rate for murders is only about 50-50. Actually, if you go to a large city and kill someone you have no connection to, the odds are you will get away scot-free. For example, the homicide arrest rate in Baltimore and Chicago are about 20%, meaning you have an 80% chance of not getting arrested.
A basic physical exam at the doctor. And yes, there are entire class sections on how to respectfully ask your patient to turn their head and cough as you push on their balls. That's rather reassuring. Ah yes, funny-looking kid syndrome, such a shame.
Fuck you duvet covers. Fuck you hard. Edit. Holy crap, I thought it was just me that had lifelong problems with them. Rip inbox and massive thanks for the gold and silver smiley face. I get in the duvet like a mole and grab and pull until everything is layered pancake perfect, then I crawl out.
Being an adult. They never had to do homework, could stay up late, eat what they wanted and had the money. Makes me wonder if parents should be a little more honest about their life. But I guess kids will either see it as one-upping or get stressed, so I dunno. Oh god no, I don't have to do homework, go to bed when I feel like it, and I have the money. If I feel like having pizza, I have pizza. Even with all the responsibilities, I would always choose being an adult over being a kid again.
Finding the person I always saw myself falling in love with. 4. Are you the person that person is going to fall in love with? Edit. Thank you for all the awards. I'm a little shocked and saddened at the amount of people who took this comment negatively, even calling it toxic. Everyone deserves to be loved, and self-reflection is not bad. Don't just look for the right one, be someone else's right one. I found her, but I was clearly not hers.
Whistling with your fingers. I did it once like 6 years ago and haven't been able to replicate it since. My cousin taught me when we were in our tweens. It's come in very helpful whistling for the dogs and horses at feeding time. What I always wanted to learn was how my grandpa whistled without having to stick dirty fingers in my mouth. Nothing like cleaning stalls, then trying to whistle for horses with shit-covered hands. Washing them in near-freezing buckets of water wasn't a first choice either. Making an actual quality meme. Inside jokes are normally easy, and memes for content-specific subs is really easy, but making original content for a wider audience memes for example, then it feels almost impossible to make content that will be widely liked. The key is to find something that is never brought up, but a lot of people can relate to. Like when someone made a meme about raindrop races on a car window, that blew my mind.
Selling panties online. Panty Trust certified. It amuses me that things like that exist. You can't fool me, you're just trying to reduce your competition.
Any time I come up with a coding idea for how to transform dataset X into pretty visualization Y that will be easy, I'll just put this into an array, do this then do that, and we'll be good to go. 6 hours later and I'm still dumping the raw objects to figure out what's going wrong. Every time I come up with an idea and get to the execution part, something like this happens, then I drop it and think about it 6 months later and hate myself even more.
Life after university graduation. People always say that they can't wait to graduate, but little did they know it's just gonna be an uphill battle from there.
Killing Enderman for Ender Pearls. Easy, stand with your back against a wall in a too high space that is too long. Just stare at him till he gets angry. They shouldn't be able to hit you like that. Just back up against a wall before you hit it. That way when it teleports it can't go behind you.
Math. I swear to God, pieces of my soul became trapped in math work and perished when I burned them. When I was younger I did terrible at algebra and geometry. I failed one and went to summer school for the other. I couldn't grasp any of it, and if I did decent on a test it was because I was looking at other people's answers. Calculus was so out of the question that it would have been ridiculous to bring up as an option for a class to take. Here I am today at my full-time job doing basic math that I learned from grades 3 to 5 and I kill it. Don't let the difficult math get the best of you, brother.
Writing a 250-word open-ended reflection where you're expected to be creative. As you progress through the levels of degrees, it is supposed to become more abstract. God, reflections are the worst thing in existence.
Losing weight. Changing habits is hard. People tend to mistake simple things for being easy. I have a really hard time with the fact that you don't get immediate feedback. I can eat well and work out for a couple days in a row, but nothing changes and I still have my fupa, and even though I know better, the lack of feedback makes me feel like it's not working and then I give up.
Golf. I feel like most people think they can just grip it and rip it and don't take into account how hard it is to have a consistently good swing with solid contact. Golf is such a polarizing sport. I've played a few rounds, and done terribly, but I have landed a par and birdie, and damn is it one of the most exhilarating feelings ever. I missed the first word as I was skimming and thought you were talking about wanking.
Playing the holophoner.
And ollie on and skateboard. Yup, started skating seriously at 27. I have been at it about a year now and finally feel comfortable with ollies. A lot of people make skating look simple. It's so far from that.
Atari video games, they look basic but for crying out fucking loud. Old video games in general, specifically from the 80s and 90s.